Today we're going to be using IronSpeed version 8.01 to show you how to use the formulas in the data access layer. Here I have a typical application with a few tables, and we're going to get straight in there and edit the information. So I'm just going to show you a very simple show customer table page, and because we're in live preview you'll see this straight on the screen without bringing up the browser. What I can do is I can go and edit a record. I can type in, let's say, London as a city, save that information, and as you see there, London has been put into the city, no problems. What I can do now, and what I want to show you, is how we might modify that at the data access layer level to show you customizations using formulas. So what we're going to do is we're going to sort of enforce some uppercase onto that information and do some validation. We're not going to do it at the presentation layer. As I say, we're going to do it at the data access layer. So where do I start? Very simply, go to our databases tab on the left, and we're going to bring up some information regarding the city for the customer table. What I want to do is enforce whenever I add or update the city field for a customer to force that, as I say, to uppercase. So on the left hand side I've got some fields here and I can select them on or off, and I want to put these two on for inserting and updating, so that when the record is updated or inserted, I want to force the city field to be uppercased. So in my formula tab, if I right click, I can very simply say functions string upper, and it's asking me what do I want to uppercase. Okay, DB record city. There we go. So this formula says uppercase the field called city. Very simply, if I can now copy and paste that into inserting, I'll have achieved the same thing without much more typing. Let's now compile that and see if it runs. Okay, so that's finished. Let's go and check our page in Internet Explorer. Okay, that's just coming up, and when that does, we're going to go in and edit the record, and this time we should find that, let's have a look. So we've got London. Let's change that now to Washington, and it should, when I click the save button, save that information but uppercase it. Okay, and we can verify that by looking at the view. We've got a uppercase city. Okay, so that was very simple for the information that you want to change when saving or updating. What we also want to do is put some validation on. So in the validation down here on the left hand side again, when I'm updating a record, I want to be able to check that, for example, the city isn't set to London. Okay, so how would I do that? Again, I can right click and I can go and look at my functions, and you've got logical functions. So I'm going to use an if. Okay, and it's very kindly set up some template for me. So if this condition is true, do the true bit, else do the false bit. So my condition will be, I want to check the value. Again, I can use right click, city. Now if the uppercase value of city is equal to London, okay, I want to execute the true bit, and that true bit is going to be an error which will say something like record cannot be London, for example. And if it's false, just put in an empty quote. Now if I compile that again and run, go back to my, when that's finished, go back to my IE, there it is. So this time, if I try to sort of type in London into the city field, I expect that formula to kick in and validate in the data layer. So let's go and edit that record again. I'm going to put in New York just to make sure that everything works as we expect. Don't forget it should uppercase New York for me, and there it is. I'm going to edit that record again, and this time I'm going to put in London. Save. A record cannot be London. Okay, so now that validation has kicked in, I'm not able to use London as the city. Of course, these are just samples. You can use whatever validation you wish. But what I wanted to show you there was a very simple and quick way where to find it, where to use it, how to use it, of validating and changing the initialization when inserting and updating records. I hope you found that very useful. There is more information on the IronSpeed website regarding formulas. Please do check that out.